People who absolutely love their lives. What's your story? I used to weigh 550 plus pounds. I fully expected that the rest of my life would be spent alone and uncomfortable. A doctor convinced me to try bariatric surgery. I lost 350 plus pounds and now I'm out in the Rocky Mountains climbing mountains for fun. My low expectations still haven't adjusted though, so every day is so much better than anything I could ever have hoped for. Met a cute redhead whose personality is almost the exact opposite of mine. Outgoing, bubbly, connects very well with all types of other people. We became really good friends. We started dating about 2 years later. We got married about 8 months after that. We've had some struggles, mostly because of my own inability to communicate effectively, but we are very happy together now, over 20 years later. I'm 8 years sober and have severe depressive disorder. I was drinking to self-medicate for my depression. That I didn't really think I had an active addiction. If I take my meds and don't drink, every day I wake up as the best day of my life. My grandfather gave me a pocket watch when I was young, and I fell in love with the combination of art and science in watchmaking. My parents bought me books I read online, and I learned everything I could about watches and watchmaking. At 16 I landed an internship at a jewelry store near my hometown and started replacing batteries and sizing watch bracelets. I decided that I wanted to be a watchmaker and high school wasn't going to help me get there, so I graduated early and went to watchmaking school. Now I work as a watchmaker in that same jewelry store, now in my own workshop, repairing and restoring primarily Rolex. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else doing anything else. Had a near-death experience where I remember my last thought not being able to finish my favorite TV series. Made me realize that my bucket list wasn't a complex sort of thing. It could range from something as simple as taking a different route to the shop or just having the guts to actively start a conversation with my wife of 11 years who I never said anything beyond a heck ota, or even just plain finishing what I started. Nothing pleases more than just finishing something. Waited rather than settled. Dumped a lot of okay guys, left a lot of okay and not so okay jobs, moved a lot, was lucky to have a baby when the time was finally right. It's taken a lot of tough decisions and hoping for more, but it's been worth waiting for. Some people may disagree with my life choices here, but I'm happy, so here goes. I live in the UK and started working in a pub at 16 as a glass collector. I was studying cookery at college and quickly learned I didn't want to just cook. I wanted to run the whole show. My parents took on their own pub, and since they did that I fell in love with the whole lifestyle. I have no children and no partner, and I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. I'm very close to having my own pub at 24 years old, and I cannot wait. I'm close to having my dream job before I'm 30, my own car, an awesome family, 3 beautiful dogs, and more money than I could have imagined at this age. Lockdown 2.0 will prove a challenge, but if we come through it'll be living the dream. Grew up in very poor farm in Pakistan. Now after immigrating to the US I work a salaried job. Graduated from University of Illinois, working on my masters at Harvard to achieve my goal of becoming a scientist and keep living the American dream. I know things are not great here in the US considering the climate, but I'm thankful to live here. I'm depressed. I have a myriad of incurable physical and mental problems, but god damn it, I get to see my favorite person every day, and I have a job that isn't hard and pays relatively well for someone who doesn't need to be self-sufficient. I freaking love my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I was addicted to heroin and meth and now I'm not. I have accomplished a bunch of stuff, and generally just appreciate how happy and healthy I'm now. My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Moriya, where all the villas are, and I'm not married. I work as an employee for the KMU department stores, and I get home every day by 8 PM at the latest. I don't smoke, but I occasionally drink. I'm in bed by 11 PM and make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. After having a glass of warm milk and doing about 20 minutes of stretches before going to bed, I usually have no problem sleeping until morning. Just like a baby, I wake up without any fatigue or stress in the morning. I was told there were no issues at my last checkup. I'm trying to explain that I'm a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. I take care not to trouble myself with any enemies, like winning and losing. That would cause me to lose sleep at night. That is how I deal with society, and I know that is what brings me happiness. Although, if I were to fight I wouldn't lose to anyone. Married my best friend. Got into a career I was sorta passionate about. Not my number one choice in the world, but it's good. I plan out my weekends, so I have things every week to look forward to. I have goals in my hobbies to work towards. That's a huge one. Always have something to work towards in your personal life. I'm trying to make a dining room set with woodworking and want to eventually have most of the furniture and stuff in my house made by me. You're probably going to read a lot of the stories people post here and think, damn, all these people won the lottery of life. And for many of them it is true. It is much easier to be happy and content when life deals you a fair hand, and to be bitter when life doesn't turn out the way you planned. But even those born with silver spoons in their mouths don't always end up happy or satisfied. Humans are incredibly adept at adaptation, and the downside of this is that we quickly lose perspective and become absorbed in our own experience, forgetting either where we've come from or where those around us are at. Which begs the question, how do we find happiness where we are now, instead of chasing the happiness we want? There are probably a few different answers to this question, but for me the answer is gratitude. When we treat even the simplest pleasures in life as joyful experiences, they become bigger than they are and minimize the negatives that surround us. When I wake up to a warm sunny day, I revel in the beauty of the world illuminated by the cosmic force that gives us life. When I wake up to a rainy day, I make myself a delicious cup of coffee and spend some time savoring it while appreciating the warm apartment I'm blessed to be able to afford. Next time you do something, find something, or eat something you enjoy, just take a moment to savor it. Appreciate what it does for you and what you love about it. I know this sounds like hippie crap, because it is, but if you act like the world is out to love you instead of out to get you, you'll start to believe it. My life has been pretty awesome since I was 16. I'm 40. It was pretty weird before that. I've had a lot of good luck. At 16, some of the bad things left my life. My education improved. I married the right person. I managed to be moderately successful at something that fits my lifestyle. I've never not had enough money. I'm self-employed. My kids are easy, intelligent and fun. I have lots of fun hobbies. I still have most of my friends from growing up and continually add new ones. And I'm still close to my dad. That's pretty much it. I do actually pray every morning for peace for myself, my family, and others. And amazingly, I have a lot of peace in my life. NBB, never be bored. That's my personal mantra, and it's been keeping healthy, happy, and, sometimes, wealthy my entire life. There's so much to do, so much to read, so many instruments to learn, so many trails to hike. There's literally zero reasons to be bored. Boredom spawns complacency, and complacency leads to a sedentary life, and I'm convinced a sedentary life is the root of a lot of modern problems. I'm always moving, always working on a new personal project, always pushing at work. It's hard at first, but you get out of it every ounce you put into it. I love my job. I'm a writer for a major outdoor retailer. I would have never gotten this if it weren't for NBB. I created my own website from the ground up and posted some stories of a few backpacking trips I've gone on. One thing led to another and now I'm sitting in my dream job at 26. NBB people, it's the trick to a fun, fulfilling life. Thank you everybody for your responses. I recently saw that this pandemic had affected the suicide rate in the world. People are more stressed, anxious and mental health issues are on the rise. Hopefully someone read your story and was inspired to keep going no matter what. Life is a gift. Take care of yourselves guys and love yourself. I grew up poor poor, like sometimes not having heat through the winter or enough food as a kid, was homeless as a teen, and struggled all through my 20s with mental health issues and creating stability. My kids have a middle class upbringing, and I'm so grateful to be able to give them that. I'm grateful for everything. When it's raining, I thank God for the roof over my head, heat in the winter, my bed at night. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm so happy to be where I am. Thank you for the award, kind stranger, and many thanks for all the love on this thread. My faith is everything, and I give all the thanks to the Most High. Stay blessed. I'm just happy to be alive. TBH, I feel suicidal sometimes, and am always stressed out BC of school, work, and feeling like a failure to my parents. Honestly, I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I'm able to handle my depression and anxiety pretty well, and my grades are slowly improving. I have good confidence in myself, and have lots of plans for my future, like going to college for art and hopefully studying abroad. I take every day and smile, and love the little things, like my dog's face every morning when he sees me. I also tend to find joy in things other people may not notice. I haven't been in a mental hospital in over a year, and haven't self-harmed in over 6 months. My life may not be perfect, but it's my life and I know I can do anything I put my mind to and work hard. Edit, just fixing typos, and making it more readable lol. 3. 32. Married a great wife. We decided to pick anywhere in the country we thought it'd be great to live and make it happen once we got married, so we did. We live in San Diego. I have an incredible 1-year-old son and hope to have more kids. My wife stays at home with the kid and finds fulfillment in her art. I lead a sales team for a small company and make a bunch of dough. Plan to retire in about 5 years and foster kids. We travel quite a bit and are generally very free. The best thing, though, is I haven't experienced meaningful loss yet. I've attended about 30 weddings and no funerals. My great-grandma died, and my grandpa died when I was very young, but I didn't really understand death yet. Since then, no deaths of friends or family, knock on wood. Pretty incredible run, and I expect this is as good as life could get. Love my family, and have a great friend group. Dropped out college, learned a trade, electrician, I love it. Was finally honest with myself, and realized I was gay. Met the love of my life 5 years ago, then immediately went out west to work on solar power plants for a summer. Came back and thought, oh word, we can get more serious now, but then bam, the plant I worked at in my city shut down, and I got laid off. Took another job, where I had to go like 4 hours north for a few months, got trained on some machinery, came back and was part of a small crew that opened a factory. I still work there 4 years later, and it still challenges me and keeps me on my toes, but it's mostly easy breezy, and I still love it. We just bought a house and closed on Thursday. It's been a long road, difficult at times sure, but it's all finally paying off now, and I'm so excited. Feel like no kids is a common theme in this. That's it for now. Thank you for watching the video. Leave your comments below. See you soon.